ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Jai Gurudev Bella, you can start the chanting with the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, prayer is done.
Yeah, it's done.
Oh, Shamita. Okay. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः भक्तियोगः। अर्जुन उवाच एवं सततयुक्ताये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः। श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेतास्ते मे युक्ततमा मताः। ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्यम् अव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम् सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखं देहवद्भिरवाप्यते ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम् मय्येव मन आधस्त्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मध्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यतात्मवान् श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः त्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम् अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिः यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो द्विजते च यः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैः मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः अनपेक्ष शुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यथः सर्वारंभ परित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभ परित्यागी भक्तिमान्यः स मे प्रियः समः शत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समः सङ्गविवर्जितः तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतः स्थिरमतिर्भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदं यथोक्तपर्युपासते श्रद्धानामत्परमा श्रद्धानामत्परमा भक्तास्तेतीव मे प्रियाः ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुन संवादे भक्तियोगो नाम द्वादशोऽध्यायः अथ त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः श्रीभगवानुवाच इदं शरीरं कौन्तेय क्षेत्रमित्यभिधीयते एतद्यो वेत्ति तं प्राहुः क्षेत्रज्ञ इति तद्विदः I think we are in verse 11, right? Because that is what yesterday we did till different karmas, and along with that Vairagya also. Anybody is ready with verse 11? Okay, I'll just read. तथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि मध्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं कुरु यतात्मवान्. Then Madhyogam Ashrita, being one whose practice commitment is dedicating all actions to me. Etatapi, even kartum, to do, ashakta chet, if you are not able, tatah yatatmavan, be one whose mind is disciplined. Sarva karma phala tyaga, give up the result of all actions to me. Atham ashritah etatapi kartu ashaktah asi chet tatah yatatmavan sarva karma phala tyagam kuru. Then, even if you are not able to do this, being one whose practice commitment is dedicating all actions to me, then being one whose mind is disciplined, give up the results of all actions to me. Sarva karma phala tyaga. Bhagwan says, even if you cannot be committed to offering all actions to me, etah api अथ एतद अपि अशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगम आश्रितः. There is still no problem if you have a disciplined mind. That is, if you are a yatatmavan. If your mind is undisciplined and turbulent, this does not apply. You have to clear that up first. But if you have some mastery over yourself, yet cannot give up all karmas to Ishvara, he says, then give up the results of all actions. Sarva karma phala tyagam tatah kuru. Impelled by your likes and dislikes, go about doing your karma. Even if they are self-centered, fulfill them as long as they do not transgress dharma. But when the results come, renounce them all in the sense of graciously accepting them as prasad from Ishvara. Krishna is not talking about renunciation of all karma here. That is Jnana Sannyasa, which, as we saw in the 4th chapter, is possible only by the knowledge that Atma is a Karta. With that knowledge, one does not give up activity, but while performing action, he knows he is free from all action. Then there are karma yogis who perform all karma, offering it to Ishvara, and also take the karma phala as given by Ishvara. At both levels, Ishvara is involved. This is true karma yoga. If the first part is not possible, you can do the second part, sarva karma phala tyaga kuru. Renounce all results of action. How does one renounce all the results of action? Whatever result comes, you take it as given by Ishvara. You become the Karta and Bhagwan, the Karma Phalata, the one who gives the results of action. There are two functions for Ishvara. Is Karmadhyaksha, the Lord who presides over the laws of karma, without whom no karma is possible. That appreciation, you will have very mild Ragasha. If they are predominant soul, if they are predominant, so that it is not possible to.
Okay, Gurudev Bilaji, your
Yeah.
voice is breaking a lot. Like it's.
Oh, Kshamita. Can somebody read then? Can somebody read?
Can I read them?
Yeah,
If
please. Dhanyavad. You can read from beginning the Pratipatha.
Krishna. No, it till the first paragraph was clear. From the second paragraph, there was much of breaking. Krishna
Okay.
is not talking about.
Please
So
go
Krishna,
ahead.
okay, thank you. Krishna is not talking about renunciation of all karma here. That is jnana sannyasa, which, as we saw in the 4th chapter, is possible only by the knowledge that Atma is akarta. With that knowledge, one does not give up activity, but while performing action, he knows he is free from all action. Then there are karma yogis. This is what we read in the 4th chapter, that though one does not give up activity, but while performing action, he knows he is free from all action. Then there are the karma yogis who perform all karma, offering it to Ishvara, and also take the karma phala as given by Ishvara. At both levels, Ishvara is involved. This is true karma yoga. If the first part is not possible, you can do the second part. Sarv karma phala tyagam kuru. Renounce all results of action. How does one renounce all the results of action? Whatever results come, you take it as given by Ishvara. You become the Karta and Bhagwan, the Karma Phala Data, the one who gives the results of action. There are two functions for Ishvara. One is Karma Adhyaksha, the Lord who presides over the laws of karma, without whom no karma is possible. With that appreciation, you will have very mild raga dvesha. If they are so predominant, so that is not possible to offer all karmas to Ishvara. When the karma phala come to you, take it as something from Ishvara. I'll repeat this. With that appreciation, you will have very mild raga dvesha. If they are predominant, so that is not possible to offer all karma to Ishvara. When the karma phala comes to you, take it as something from Ishvara. That means you have offered the karma phala to him. This is very common in India. While cooking the food, they may not think of Ishvara. Certainly, when they flavor the food, they are not thinking of Ishvara's taste, but of the people who are going to eat. After cooking it, however, they offer the food to Ishvara. The way in which the food turned out is determined by the laws of Ishvara. These ingredients put together in this way produces a given result. Therefore, you cannot say the laws have changed, so my food is not good. There can be a dosha, a mistake in your karma because of some difficulty, but the laws do not commit any mistake. Therefore, the karma phala, the food that comes to you after cooking, is from Ishvara. This much awareness is not very difficult to acquire, so Sarva karma phala tyaga is relatively easy. In Sarva karma phala tyaga, there is an awareness of Ishvara as the karma phala data. I perform the action to fulfill raga dvesha, but the karma phala comes according to the laws of Ishvara. Therefore, I accept it without protest, and thereby it gets dedicated to Ishvara. The action also gets dedicated to Ishvara indirectly, because unless karma is dedicated to Ishvara, karma phala is not seen as something that comes from him. I repeat this. Therefore, I accept it without protest. In Sarv Karm Phala Tyaga, there is an awareness of Ishvara as the Karm Phala Data. I perform the action to fulfill Raga Dvesha, but the Karm Phala comes according to the laws of Ishvara. Therefore, I accept it without protest, and thereby it gets dedicated to Ishvara. The action also gets dedicated to Ishvara indirectly, because unless karma is dedicated to Ishvara, karma phala is not seen as something that comes from him. By accepting karma phala from Ishvara, you automatically dedicated your karma to him. So it is that indirectly, if you accept the result of action as given by the Ishvara, so you are indirectly dedicating your karma to him. This is what is meant by this. When you take it as karma phala coming from Ishvara, it neutralizes your raga dvesha. How? Normally, if the result is desirable, there is elation. If it is undesirable, depression. This is the nature of antakarana. It is subject to inflation and deflation, otherwise called ashuddha antakarana, the outcome of raga dvesha. Even though you do not want depression, it comes because a dvesha has a hold over you. Raga dveshas account for every emotional difficulty. To overcome them, when the karma phala comes, I take it graciously as prasada. Though raga dvesha continues to exist, they do not have the capacity to create elation and depression. They simply become the basis for all your activities, which of course conform with dharma. Because of sarva karma phala tyaga, they get neutralized and there is an equanimity no matter what the result is. This evenness of mind, samatva, which characterizes a karma yogi, is possible only by prasada buddhi. Otherwise, it becomes an ideal which creates other problems. So you need not offer the karma to Ishvara. You can simply take the result from him. It is not inferior to offering the karma to Ishvara because it amounts to the same thing. What is important is tyaga, renunciation. That is what is being praised here. Sarv karma phala tyaga amounts to renunciation of desires, kama tyaga. When they are all offered to Ishvara, raga dvesha have no hold on you. Raga dvesha is kama, and the kama itself is renounced because you are accepting the result regardless of how well it matches your raga dvesha. When that is so, kama is as good as given up. It has no grip over you, which is all that is required for antakarana shuddhi. Then through that antakarana, you will gain jnana. Therefore, give up the results of action. Tatha sarva karma phala tyagam kuru. Anyone wants to say something or discuss? Being a disciplined person, yatatmavan, his karma phala tyaga is as good as mad yoga. Mad yoga, karma yoga, in which the action is performed for the sake of Ishvara and the result is taken as prasada. Here, if you think about Ishvara, when the results come, that is good enough. When you pull onto the road, think of Ishvara. When the car stops, think of Ishvara. When you reach your destination, think of Ishvara. When you arrive in one piece, think of Ishvara. If you sustain some injury, thank God you are still alive. Thus, every karma phala is taken as something that comes from Ishvara. Thereby, your raga dvesha get neutralized. We have to act this out. It is not simply a matter of understanding here. Though understanding is necessary, the attitude says with you when you keep on acknowledging that karma phala is from Ishvara. Though understanding is necessary, the attitude stays with you when you keep on acknowledging that karma phala is from Ishvara. If you repeat it to yourself, not simply mechanically, you develop the attitude of prasada buddhi. It is that again that abhyasa. You keep on reminding, training your mind basically. Like when you make it a habit to say thanks, you develop an attitude of gratitude. Initially, we do mechanically, then it comes out spontaneously. So it becomes your habit. Even though it may sometimes be mechanical, it has to be repeated to cultivate the attitude, which is important thing here. When you say thanks, it may not always carry much meaning. Somebody opens the door for you or move aside so you can pass him on the escalator and you say thanks, may be purely mechanical. But if you give it up altogether, the attitude may disappear. Therefore, that form has to be retained. Only then can the spirit be discovered. And it can be discovered because it is always there in some degree. You cannot say thanks without some element of gratitude. So it is the cultivating of the attitude of or the good habits, basically. Similarly here, this is prasada or its equivalent has to be repeated. We must consciously acknowledge that everything that comes is from Ishvara. The awareness that he is the karma phala data has to be maintained by somehow expressing it so that karma phala tyaga becomes a reality. In the process, kama tyaga also occurs. But kartritva tyaga, renunciation of doership, does not, which is why it is not jnana. As long as there is doership, only karma yoga is possible. And though karma yoga, and through karma yoga, you can gain antakarna shuddhi, which makes you ready for the knowledge. Kartritva, however, can be eliminated in one stroke by Shastra. Once the raga dvesha are neutralized, the ahankara has no backbone. All you need is to be told you are Parameshwara. If that jnana has no obstruction, pratibandha, there is no further problem. Just because he has said, if that is not possible, do this. Karma phala tyaga is not in any way inferior. When you are allergic to aspirin, you take paracetamol, but that does not mean it is inferior. The effect is the same. If you cannot handle certain foods, you take others. Both nourish the body. If you cannot do one type of exercise, you do another. Both keep the body fit. It is the same thing here. One is not inferior or superior. Karma phala tyaga is as good as anything else. Pursue your raga dvesha, but renounce the result of your action to Ishvara. Karma phala tyagam kuru. One good thing about this is that the Lord, being all pervasive, has no place to keep the results you offer. Thus, they remain with you. They are only mentally offered. This is sarva phala tyaga. Even though it is said lastly, it is not anyway less than any of the other things suggested because it will lead to the same thing. In fact, in the next shloka, it is declared as better than what has been told. This is prasmasa. What is it?
Prashamsa.
Okay, prashansa, right. This is prashansa, a praise of karma phala tyaga. Now, praising karma phala tyaga, Bhagavan indicates that though it is said lastly, it is no way inferior to the things already mentioned, because with it you gain shanti. Yeah, I think if you can do Manana, or I think you try, Belaji, if your internet has no complaints, then you can continue, because listening is more better than speaking. I assume so.
No, you are doing it so well, Savita. You are explaining also in between. So it is so clear.
So you want to continue, you continue, or shall I say, as you say?
Yeah, if you are comfortable, do we do Manana, or we can do Manana later as everyone suggests?
I think we can do Manana on this, if so that one shloka is covered.
Yeah. I think the gratitude is described here by Swamiji very well. And Bhagavan is compassionate to suggest alternatives every time. If we continue to have the gratitude, if we are not able to control our raga dvesha while doing the action, Bhagavan is saying you can do the action, but whatever karma phala comes, you offer it to me. So he is not going to take it. But with that karma dhyaksha in mind, if we do, and whatever comes, if we accept it as a prasada, then also it is better. And Swamiji very well explained, it is not inferior, because it is Ashtanga Yoga and other things. If you are not able to do, you just offer the karma phala tyaga. It is not, in no way it is inferior to the other ways. The effect is the same. In fact, it is better. That's what Bhagavan is saying in the next verse. Anyone would like to share?
I would like to share here what Gurudev said in Vignan Bhairav, that look for the cause behind the cause. Someone else's karmas also, like say a mother-in-law badgering the daughter-in-law. When that happens also, normally we have an aversion towards the mother-in-law for browbeating us into submission in front of others. But if you look upon it as her karmas, and that is also like the cause behind the cause is Shiv Tattva. In Vignan Bhairav, Gurudev said that. So like the mother-in-law is sent to you by Shiva only, so that you become stronger by going through that process, by facing the challenging situation. So looking for the cause behind the cause. And then it's like the karma phala is also given by Ishwar, what was mentioned here, that is in tune with what Gurudev said in Vignan Bhairav. So mother-in-law is not the cause of your problem. It is Shiv Tattva only, which is the cause. So it is given by Ishwar only to make you stronger. Jai Guru.
Yeah, that is such a beautiful perspective to look at the things in our lives.
It would enable us to drop our aversions faster, because that is not given by mother-in-law. It is given by Shivji or by God or Ishwar or whatever. So it's like when we take it as something that is a prasad from Shiv, then it is easier to drop the aversion.
Yeah, and the positive aspect that it is given to strengthen us, that is important. When we take it as something which is like a punishment, then it will make us inferior. But when we take it as something which is given to strengthen our personality, then it has a different effect. That's very, very nice, wonderful perspective. Whether he is our boss or colleague or whoever it is.
Here, Swamiji also talked of that how the raga dvesha can be mild.
Yeah.
Like you, though I did not follow much of this, it is on page number 367, the first paragraph. There are two functions for Ishvara. 367, Belaji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you take him as Karmadhyaksha, no, that's what, when you would know that he is the one who, the creator, and according to the laws of nature, the Prakriti is the one, then with that appreciation, the Raga Dvesha becomes mild.
Raga dvesha will become mild if you are not attached to them yourself. So it is because of the attitude that you think that that it is the Lord who is presiding over this, the laws of karma, or like if you have some understanding only, then only that raga dvesha will become mild. No, is it what this is implying?
Yes, correct, sorry, that you know that whatever is happening, that it is because of the karma diksha. Your role as although you are doing karma, but you know that it is happening according to the laws of karma.
Yeah, right. So with whatever feeling you are doing that karma, though your mind is not inclined towards Ishvara, you are not thinking of him, you are just doing your actions. But in the end, when the results come that you offer, then it is the same, like indirectly you are dedicating your karma to him. This is
Yeah, whatever result comes, you accept it as a prashada from the Ishvara. Yeah.
prasada buddhi.
Basically, you are the karta. You decide what you're acting upon, but you consider Ishvara as the karma phala data. Whereas in the previous one, when you're the prayer, 10th shloka, Swamiji says, Bhagwan says, be a karma yogi. You offer those three different ways in which we can live a life as a karma yogi. Ishvarartham, Ishvararpita, and Madartham karma. So all those different varieties, if you're not still able to live your life like that, then even if you're working with even if your actions are directed by your raga and dvesha, you take whatever result comes. So therefore, there is that attitude of total acceptance of whatever is happening. Coming to the state of acceptance. In the first instance, as a karma yogi, you are like diluting your ego there. Your I-ness is not that important. You're just doing what is important. What is to be done is you're doing. You're not bringing the filter of your raga dvesha there. Good example is all the seva that we do. What is required, you're doing. You're not saying, oh, I don't like to clean the garbage, so I will not clean it. If you're doing it that way, then your raga and dvesha is coming in there. But when it is supposed to be done, you're doing it as if number one, as being devoted to Ishvara, or considering that he's the one that creates everything. He's there in and through creation. Or all this is happening. Who am I there? What is this I, this hand that is picking up the garbage? It is all Ishvara's vibhuti. So either of these three ways you do your duty, you're working as you're acting as a karma yoga. But if you're not able to do that, then the next alternative, although Bhagwan here, Swamiji says clearly that it is not inferior to, it gives you that peace. When you're in total acceptance, it gives you that peace. And in contrast, he said this is not the same as Jnana Karma Sannyasa, which was described in chapter 5, that Ashnan, Jigran, Swapan, Swashan, there it is coming from total understanding, total knowledge. But here it is, I am still acting out of my raga and dvesha, but whatever result comes, I will take it.
Gurudev had shared a story earlier that in a village, a postman comes and delivers a letter, and that letter is that you have been removed from your job. The postman is only delivering the letter to you. Will you get angry with the postman? And then it is like you compare that same situation that God has sent mother-in-law to you. So will you shout on the mother-in-law? The boss has thrown you out. The letter is only delivered by the postman. He's just the instrument delivering the letter. So when we start doing that, then the aversion levels, and then it is so very much, once our aversion levels come down, there are no cravings and aversions. Then the flip side of it is then you are automatically increasing your belongingness with people in and around you. So there is so much of love and compassion. It's so interconnected. And then it's like that internal purity, you are hollow and empty. All this is so interconnected. Just dropping of the aversions, that it is the karma phala data is somebody else, karma adhyaksha is somebody else, it is Bhagwan, whatever. From that point of view, if you look at every challenging situation, you will not get disturbed. There you go.
One thing I wanted to ask, like it was mentioned in this was an explanation that sargam fal tyaga amounts to renunciation of desires also. How can you explain it? Kama tyaga we were talking about, no, page number 368. That kama tyaga. If you first paragraph, yeah, this one.
Craving
fourth
will
line.
drop when you have santosha, contentment. Once you have contentment, then the craving will drop. Of course, I highlighted that not having desires, everybody was, most of us were highlighting on the desires. It's the aversions also which are there, raga and dvesha. But desires, that yesterday also I put up an article by Gurudev, that it is only by knowledge and meditation that the contentment and satisfaction comes. That leads to getting rid of desires. You are contented, santosha. Shat sampati, santosha is
contentment. Yeah, that contentment is there, but why Swamiji has mentioned relating it to karma phala tyaga? This I'm not able to understand.
I am not the doer. If you have that I am the doer, then I should be getting this or I should be getting that, whatever. I should be getting praise or whatever. That is at the back of the mind if you are the doer. Even as a volunteer, if you have done something, that Guruji will
Like,
make in his car, that desire comes up.
yeah. So it is like what when you know that your desires would not be fulfilled according to your needs or what you desire, they will not fulfill accordingly, but it is in the hand of the Ishvara, then uh, is it in that way that the desire will
Yeah,
automatically,
normally after one desire, you get another one, right? And
yeah,
here, when you're taking the result of your action as being given by Ishvara, you're in acceptance, you're in peace, you're not wanting to alter the situation, or uh, another desire is not cropping up there. You're in acceptance. Like, for instance,
yeah,
if you cooked something and it didn't turn out the way you wanted it, you accept it as Ishvara's prasada.
yeah,
So then, um, at that point, you're in acceptance. You may want to alter it differently the next time you cook. That's different. But at that point, that's shanti happens. You're at peace. In
yeah.
that,
When you
at that,
accept
in
that
that
it has
state
to
of
happen
peace,
this way. Yeah.
yeah, and
Okay.
that state of peace, there is no desire coming up. No, there's no
Right.
frustration because what you wanted didn't turn out. You're not overly elated that what you wanted happened. So you're in that state of equanimity. I think that is what he means by saying um,
Renunciation of it.
yeah, renunciation of desire at that point.
Yeah. Right.
In
Thank
the
you.
corporate world, I have seen it many times. Some some junior manager will make a complete presentation and he'll work on it, he'll put all his efforts. And then that presentation is given by his boss, and there is no credit given to him. He takes all the credit from his seniors, be it the vice president, the CEO of the company, or what. And you are sitting there in the conference room, but no credit is given to you. He gives the presentation as if he has made it, he has worked on it. So that time, how much of consternation is there in the mind? But there was a fellow colleague of mine who was working in a paint company, a multinational paint company. He said, I always make the presentations and my boss presents it. But I have no feelings like aversion towards him at all. I'm totally contented. It's like I pat your back, you pat my back, sort of, kind of. He was in total acceptance. And that is so much necessary. Like, otherwise, your mind will remain disturbed because you didn't get the credit. Though he was not doing it from I am not the doer, but it was like I pat your back, you pat my back. That is not also correct from that point of view. But being in total contentment, of course, is better.
We have to inculcate this habit that when you start any work, so you just first think of Ishvara every time, just like when how Swamiji described about when you start your journey, you think of God, you sit in the car, think of God. Every time you're driving, then you reach. So at every point that if you inculcate this habit that you have to say thanks to God, showing that gratitude, it will make a lot of difference. I think your it will
Yeah,
help.
very beautiful, very true. Our every breath is like a gratitude. It's a prashada from Ishvara. If we have that feeling, no, and whatever we have, we are complete, and we have everything. That feeling of abundance is also required, that we already have what is necessary. And whatever we
Yeah.
do, when we keep that he is the karma dhyaksha, then whatever comes as a result, we will not have that either inflation that, oh, because I did it happen, or deflation or depression, that if it doesn't turn out as we expected.
Even with our own children, I did so much for my children. Now they don't give time to me. All that is also there, not just not in the corporate world, but at every step of our life. But if the
Correct.
contentment is there, now the children are grown.
Jai Gurudev. Over the years, I have come to this stage now, or thinking process. Like whatever I do, uh, I don't seek any appreciation from anybody. To some extent, may not have accomplished completely, but I see it myself. If it has pleased me, and whatever I'm doing, because it pleases me, I'm doing it. With that intention, I keep doing it because it is pleasing me. Because it is pleasing me, I'm taking care of my kids. Because it is pleasing me, I'm cooking. So the expectations from others to appreciate has reduced drastically. Otherwise, earlier, if I make something good or so, I would expect people to appreciate. But these days, as long as it gives me the satisfaction of putting in 100%, and whatever result is there, I'm happy with that. That has happened. Plus, when we are saying Ishwar Prasada, but is it not really the what karmas you have done, you are getting it back? uh, I have not been able to see that it is Ishwara's prasad. I have been able to see that it is my deeds which are giving me the results. This is what is how I think. I've never thought like it has given by Ishwara. Unless it is, I feel disproportionate grace is showering on me. Only when then I feel that it is Ishwara's grace. But any bad experience I'm getting, I feel this is my deed which is giving me the fruit. Jai Gurudev.
So you are maturing basically. It is the maturity happening that you are thinking this way, and you could analyze so. And bad thing happening is, of course, it is our own karma. Like it is because of our action we receive. It is God is nowhere to be blamed. But accepting that also is another level of maturity. So this is how the evolution is happening. And of course, the grace of God is uh, always there. And only when something extraordinary happens, you acknowledge it. But being in that state of mind, not expecting anything from anyone, that is also a great level of maturity. And it is this is what happens when you are on that spiritual journey, and these are the milestones, I think. Control you don't get anger very frequently, then you don't expect others to appreciate you. So these, I think these all are the steps which shows that you are going in the right direction. Yeah, Jai Gurudev.
Yeah, Mrinalji is asking, can someone summarize in one line? Can someone summarize all options given in one line, please? So I think Mrinalji has wonderfully summarized. When you are happy with whatever you do and whatever result comes when you accept it, I think that is Wonderful summary. When you feel whatever you are getting is your own prarabdha, and if something extraordinary happening, then you take it as a grace from Ishvara. Anybody would like to share in one line as Sarlaji has requested?
Taking everything as prasada of Ishvara, and whatever you do, offer it, the result of action, to God, and what you receive, take it as prasada. This is the only message we are receiving from this verse, that in that way your raga dvesha would be neutralized, you will ahankara also goes. When you be in that accepting mode, the prasad buddhi is important. You don't react. Whatever is happening, you take it as a prasada and offer all your results. Whatever the result come, you offer. It is had to happen this way, so it has happened. I accept it, and I am thankful to you. I got this message. Yeah.
Very beautiful. Would you mind going ahead, Dr. Savita? Is it comfortable for you? I will try to do. If it is my voice is breaking, then you please take over.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
there is a notification continuously on my screen. Your internet is unstable. My voice is clear right now when I'm speaking.
At present, it's clear. Yeah.
Okay, just let me know, please. Okay. श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः त्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्. Jnanam, knowledge, Shreyah is better. He, indeed, Abhyasat, then the practice of yoga. Dhyanam, meditation, Jnanat, as compared to knowledge, Vishishyate is superior. Karma phalatyagaha, renunciation of the results of actions is better. Dhyanat, then meditation, Tyagat, because of renunciation, Shantihi, there is peace, Anantaram, immediately. Jnanam Shreyah Hi Abhyasat, Dhyanam Jnanat Vishishyate, Karma Phalatyagah, Dhyanat Tyagat Shantihi Anantaram. Knowledge is better indeed than the practice of yoga. Meditation is superior to knowledge. Renunciation of the results of actions is better than meditation. Because of renunciation, there is peace immediately. Very beautiful. I repeat once again. Knowledge is better indeed than the practice of yoga. Meditation is superior to knowledge. Renunciation of the results of actions is better than meditation. Because of renunciation, there is peace immediately. Sarva karma phalatyaga, he says, is better for you, Shreyah, than the practice, Abhyasa of Ashtanga Yoga, up to, but not including Dhyana. Shankara qualifies this as an Abhyasa, which is not preceded by discrimination, aviveka purvaka, a purely mechanical practice of asana, pranayam, etc., without clarity about what one is doing it for. That is Purushartha Viveka, or about what is temporal and what is not. Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka. Since the Viveka is inadequate, so is his Vairagya. he is not able to pursue or even ascertain what he really wants. The jnana here refers to knowledge of purushartha, that is, knowledge of what is to be done and what is not to be done. I repeat once again. Sarva karma phala tyaga, he says, is better for you, Shreyah, than the practice, Abhyasa of Ashtanga Yoga, up to, but not including Dhyana. Shankara qualifies this as an Abhyasa, which is not preceded by discrimination, Aviveka Purvaka, a purely mechanical practice of asana, pranayam, etc., without clarity about what one is doing it for. That is, Purushartha Viveka, or about what is temporal and what is not. Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka. Since the Viveka is inadequate, so is his Vairagya. He is not able to pursue or even ascertain what he really wants. The Jnana here refers to knowledge of Purushartha, that is, knowledge of what is to be done and what is not to be done. Since he does not have such Jnana, he lacks Viveka, and therefore his practice, Abhyasa, also lacks Viveka about what exactly he is seeking and what he is doing to achieve it. The Abhyasa of Ashtanga Yoga does not necessarily require Viveka. Most people who practice what is commonly known as yoga have no Atma Anatma Viveka or Nitya Anitya Viveka. Often, their Purusha is purely the appearance or condition of the body. They can as well do aerobics, though asanas are better for them because they need not eat as much as they would to do vigorous exercise. And yogasanas also come to us from the rishis, so they have a certain sanctity about it. But if you inquire into the yogi's concept of moksha, you will find it problematic. Therefore, you need not know what moksha is or have any viveka or abhyasa, which can mean any discipline. Even discipline, however, is better than the lack of it. For in following a discipline, you undergo pain, which can be a basis for growth. Any routine involves pain because there are times when it is difficult to follow, and in overcoming those difficulties, you grow. But a discipline followed without viveka is inferior to the viveka. And therefore, Bhagwan says, Shreyo hi jnanam. Knowledge is better. Jnana here is not Atma Jnana, but the knowledge of Purushartha. So, doing Ashtanga Yoga with understanding is better. With Viveka Buddhi, and when you are following any discipline, whether it is for our Manana here or whether it is for our daily Kriya at a particular time, there will be some difficulties or challenges. But to continue with that, even though you have some challenges to overcome, that is the Viveka.
Swamiji is comparing here to the Sarv Karm Phala Tyaga to the Abhyasa of Ashtang Yoga. So he says that the Karm Phala Tyaga is better than practicing that Ashtang Yoga because most of the time that yoga, that asanas, the people do, they are just doing it. They have no viveka behind. So they are doing without any concept. Uh, so that is why it is inferior, and it lacks that viveka. And when viveka is inadequate, then naturally there would be no vairagya also. And like it would not help him to do that antakarana shuddhi. It would be just like doing some exercises uh, for your own, like for fitness of the body. So doing that abhyasa with the discipline, with the knowledge, and with that viveka, if you do, then that will help you to grow. That would be the knowledge of purushartha.
Very beautifully said. So Ashtanga Yoga, why it is inferior? Because it is not easy to understand.
Bela, can you just repeat the starting sentence where he talks of the sequence of the alternatives, which is superior?
So that was the Pratipada. The
He talks of jnana is superior to dhyana, and then Ashtanga Yoga is superior.
Yeah,
That
just
part.
the meaning from the knowledge is better. From the meaning, knowledge is better indeed than practice of yoga.
Yeah, knowledge is better indeed than the practice of yoga. Meditation is superior to knowledge. Renunciation of the results of actions is better than meditation. Because of renunciation, there is peace immediately.
Please
So
repeat, ma.
he is given
आवाज चला गया.
importance to Sarva Karma Phalatyaga as the most important here, if you look at the whole train. Right? Because he says jnana is better than Ashtanga Yoga, and not include that, does not include dhyana. Dhyana is superior to knowledge, and in the end he says karma phalatyaga is superior to dhyana. So that was a little
But does that mean that we don't do those? Or does that mean that we do those also? But these are the uh, mm, levels of
yeah,
graduation.
these are levels of graduation based on the mindsets, no, based on the level of our own preparation. And I think we'll gradually um, ascend or evolve as we stay put. So doing Ashtanga Yoga with awareness, with that knowledge that this is for cleansing the body, cleansing the mind. This is what I'm doing for Abhyasa, to get that Dharana Shakti. Why? Because you want to meditate, you want to do the Saguna Brahma Upasana. If you remember the whole train, it starts from Nirguna Brahma Upasana, which Swamiji says, leave them alone. Shankara says, Tavat Tishtantu. They are jnanis. Then comes the Karma Yogi who is doing Saguna Brahma Upasana. Better than, if you're not able to do that, that is the highest. They are yoga vittamas. So if you're not able to do that, practice Ashtanga Yoga in order to develop dharana, in order to meditate. And this Ashtanga Yoga is also not mechanically doing it as a discipline, but with the awareness that it is towards the moksha purushartha. So you bring in that awareness of viveka there, and you're not stuck in just that rigid discipline. It has to be flexible and understand what is the intention behind. In that case, then Ashtanga Yoga doesn't need to be only on the yoga mat. You can do that throughout your day, whatever you're doing, if you have that awareness. Then comes Karma Yoga, Kevala Karma Yoga, where you recognize Ishvara as the Karmadhyaksha, Karmadhyaksha, and then you offer all your actions unto him, either as you being the Karta or as him being the Karta. So therefore you dissolve your ego. If that is not possible, when you're doing that, you're not bringing in the filter of your raga dveshas. But even if that is not possible for you, then Bhagwan says, do your actions as directed by your raga and dvesha, but drop the or accept the results as they come, as Ishvara, as given by Ishvara. Here, I just wanted to mention when I think Mrinal was mentioning that anything not good happens, she takes it as prarabdha. There, uh, I mean, what I felt was if you're taking it as prarabdha, you're still kind of holding on to the kartritva. Oh, I did this in the past, therefore I'm getting it now. But a step ahead would be, this is all given by Ishvara. I will just take it as it comes. Considering it as prarabdha is only to satisfy yourself or calm yourself down. That is one way, no doubt it's one way, but maybe even if you drop that, it is all from him. It's just coming from him.
But then there would be a question arising: why me?
That is what I'm saying. That why me comes only because of the doership.
The why
So
me
here,
you
No,
can clear
in the
off
sense,
by saying that you will become stronger. By facing a challenging situation, going through it, you become stronger when you feel that the challenging situation was given by Ishvara to you.
like in the same situation, if I'm getting a bad experience, if I think Bhagwan is giving, I'm not at that stage yet where that questioning has stopped. I would see the reason behind whatever is happening. Again, bringing back the astrology part, which I could see it in the chart. Oh, because this house has been affected by this graha, this has been happening. Like where somebody was saying about the mother-in-law or whatever. It is that 8th house which has been affected by some bad drushti or so. So you will get some trouble from your sasural. This is what is being seen in your chart, or from your workplace. If you are going to get some trouble from your workplace, your 10th house is affected. And this satisfies my understanding about why I'm going through. There is a reason. And it is not the planets which are giving me trouble. They are just representing your karmas, which you did it in the past. And that's where my search for why I stopped. I because why would Bhagwan will trouble you and somebody else, not somebody else, who would be doing the same kind of work, or you might be doing a better work, but you are getting troubled. I would think why it is happening. And when my search is ended, when I see these in the chart or in the planetary position, my search stopped, and then I stopped. And for that matter, your grace, what you'll be graced with, happiness, everything will be seen in the chart. So you don't have to keep worrying about, oh, this is happening, why it is happening. That troubled mind is no more with me now, because though I take this as a Ishwar Prasada, who has, of course, what Brahmaraj is saying, that doership is there, definitely. Because I did this, this has happened. But is that not the reality? I'm missing something over here. Do we take it as prasada? Why would Bhagwan give me pain as a prasada? Eh, I would question, that question would remain with me unless I know the answer. I haven't got that much of surrender yet or acceptance yet.
Bhagwan is not giving you pain. It is all your prarabdha that we suffer, and he is not involved anywhere.
This is
We
what
have to.
this is what is my
Yeah.
understanding. But when Brahmaraji was saying that they take this as a prasada, which I am unable to do yet, because I feel that this is my doing and I'm sufferer or the enjoyer because of my deeds. That doership is definitely there. Because I did, I'm getting this. But whatever
It's
I'm
because, see,
getting,
in our
hmm,
mind, we have this distinction, good and bad. Anything good that happens is we consider it as grace, and anything not good happening, we consider it as prarabdha. No, absolutely no problem with that understanding. But when you can raise yourself up and say, I'm just reminded of what Rajima had mentioned once. She was down with very high fever, and she had this question, why me? The whole family had to go out, and she decided to stay back because she had high fever. And then it dawned on her, she says, like health is Ishvara, sickness is also Ishvara, is Bhagwan. He's there in everything. And at that point, her fever actually, she mentions, she said she got better. So, what I'm saying is that awareness that everything is Ishvara. So, whatever is happening is Ishvara, is coming through him. So, it is not just the good things that happen that we say, oh, it is Ishvara Prasada, even the not so good things, no doubt it is from our prarabdha. But if you can relieve yourself of that doership and then say it is from Ishvara, it is that awareness is there that it is because of your past karma that you're getting what you're getting. But rather than just stay there, if you can just step up and say, this is from Ishvara, that's it.
Jai
That's
Gurudev,
what I
can I
wanted to
add
mention.
here? I, Jai
yes,
Gurudev,
please.
can I add something to this?
Yeah, sure.
Um, I'm going back to that wisdom where we read a few weeks ago that Bhagavan is not there to lift you out of your misery or joy. He gives you opportunities for his grace, for this jnana to dawn in you according to what you need. Each individual is very unique needs at different levels of growth. So for what is required for each one of us, Bhagavan gives us the opportunity to experience the wisdom that we need to gain through those different good or bad circumstances, people, situations, and all that. We know by now, we know that we all have prarabdha karma. So whatever is happening to us is a baggage from behind, which is hopefully getting exhausted. At the same time, realizing that, okay, I'm in this situation because here I have an opportunity to live this wisdom that I need to learn. We may fail many times, but somewhere we will get it, I feel. Jai Gurudev.
One thing more,
I
like
think I have the very strong doership yet. I have to overcome that because when Brahmaraji was giving example of Rajima, I was in my mind, I was just thinking, if I have a headache, I would start thinking like what wrong food I must have had, or maybe today I didn't do my pranayama, or the pitta must have gone high. So I would start doing some remedies towards it, and at the end I will leave it to Bhagwan as Bhagwan's prasad. But to start with, I will see that I will do something to pacify that pain or situation by putting some effort towards it. I would not just sit back and say that this is Ishwar Prasada. I'm still a doer. I will see that I would take some medicine. I would take somebody's help, or maybe go to a doctor if it is unbearable. But I would not just sit and think that this is Ishwar Prasada. I think I have a lot of doership here.
Rajima had to get that wisdom that everything is Bhagavan. So she got it through that experience. Wherever,
Yeah.
whichever stage we are in, we must analyze.
Yeah,
Why?
that's true. That's very true.
And then,
Because
But we're not talking of passive acceptance here, Rinal. You have to do, of course, if your body is going through pain and you're having some issue, you take care of it. Because ultimately, it's through the body that we gain moksha, the purushartha. So it is not like you passively accept everything as Ishvara Prasada. You actively accept it. You do what you have to do and then drop it. Like what Gurudev says, educate, ignore, if it's with respect to someone or even with respect to yourself. But when you have to do something, it is aviveka again to say, oh, this is Ishvara. That's blind faith. I mean, that's blind acceptance. I don't think we're talking of that. What we're talking of here is acceptance of whatever is happening in life is ordained by him, because ultimately he's the karma phaladata. Underlying, no doubt, it is because of each one of us puts our blueprint. It is the way we have our life laid out for us. That is no doubt about it. And like he says, he is not the one giving pain. It is we have created that blueprint ourselves. But we
Didi,
release that. Yeah.
But then how come we say it is Ishvara Prasada?
Didi, Krishna also says each thought is Krishna, isn't it? So taking us through the solution, giving us thoughts, that is also, done by Lord himself. So if we have some pain, so the thought comes, okay, let me do this. So even that is a thought which he is giving, and through it pacifying us and taking us to the right direction. And yeah, finally we reach to Ishwar Pranidhan, again reaching out to him as uh, through the thoughts.
I'm reminded of a leader who once spoke to Gurudev saying, lots of challenges I'm facing. So Gurudev said, you have that ability. That is why these challenges are coming to you. And so this why me will settle with that thinking, I think, and very correct that every thought is from Bhagavan. And two things. One is, what is our goal? And secondly, where are we? If we, what wisdom have I to learn? If we contemplate on that, then I feel that over a period of time, or maybe some people can get it very quickly, we'll get to see that every moment here is an opportunity for me to get some wisdom, either through struggle or a cakewalk.
What I take, like, if any painful situation is like a prasada. Prasada inform that when you are in that painful moment, then what do? You seek the help of Ishvara. So you get more connected to him, you are more centered, your efforts are more towards that, you do more of tapas that time. And you are more centered at that time. So it is again like a prasada from Bhagwan. What does he want? He wants you to achieve, he wants you to merge in himself. So it is again that it is one step ahead you are going. The more difficult situations we are having, like example of what this was given, that one person who was getting difficult challenges in life. So it is that those difficult challenges in life, they are making him stepping higher and higher towards his goal. So it is again in a form of prasada only. This is what prasada is. We always relate to the good things as prasada, but these painful events are also prasada, that if they are not there, everyone would be living like in merry-making lifestyle. Nobody would bother about God, because until unless difficult situations are not there, people will just relax. What reminds them of is that those events or those situations which makes them think over, and when they get over it, that faith develops, and every time that faith deepens, and you get more and more connected and evolving side by side.
Yeah. The understanding I got just now was like, if I think myself as an Ishvara, then the prasad also has come from me only. So that way I can take this as a Ishwar prasada, because it's me who has given this prasada. And secondly, just forgot what I was saying. Sorry, please carry on. Yeah, and whatever results we are getting, yes, those maybe the bad experiences, what we label as make us stronger, those have redeemed your bad karmas also, and you have learned a lesson through it. That is the I think what we get from bad experiences, or whatever experiences we are getting, challenging experiences, we learn a lot from that. And that is why we have taken a birth. We go through that trouble and then we learn from that experience. That's why we have taken this birth, to redeem our karmas. We learn the lesson from it.
Let's not forget that the Atma Bodha shloka, which says, the moment you have jnana, all these karmas will just get burnt out. Even the sanchita gets burnt out like a burnt seed. It cannot sprout. So our effort should be towards that jnana samuparjana. So all that we're doing right now is with that understanding that we're creating the space, creating the bed, making the ground, preparing the ground. And these are all the alternatives that, based on the different mindsets that Bhagwan has so beautifully laid out. Karma phala tyaga, or living a life of a karma yogi, practicing Ashtanga yoga, practicing dhyana, upasana. And all this is so beautifully laid out for us in the Art of Living. We have everything in there. Sadhana, seva, satsang. So beautiful how everything is interwoven. So complete. So shall we stop here today? Sarlaji says, Sama Shitoshna Sukha Dukkha. Ramakrishna's example, yeah. So we'll meet up tomorrow.
For those of you who are from Bahrain in this group, just would like to add that I met Nishiji. She told me that some of you are her students. So I was so amazed at how Gurudev connects us in so many different ways.
Nishi is the reason why I joined the Art of Living. I always have gratitude and a little thanks and blessings go on to her, because she was the sutradhar, so to say, for me to be part of the Art of Living.
She was like my classmate then. And we did take a dip in Ganga together with Guruji. The first my first advanced course. That's how I remember Nishi.
Yeah. So shall we
Wow.
wind up here today? Anything else you want to say, Sumaji?
Wow. Mrinalji said, no, that she was a classmate and they had dip in the Ganga in Rishikesh. I've never been to Rishikesh. It's been my dream since last 20 years, I think.
You must go. It's very, very so full of energy and peaceful both.
In 2004 December, I booked an advanced course in Rishikesh, knowing very well I won't be able to go, but I just thought some miracle will happen and I will go. But I couldn't go. But
Ashram is just side on the bank of Ganga. So the voice of the waves come, and it's like experience doing advanced meditation there. It was very beautiful. I did once there.
So I hope on my 20th anniversary of that wish, I'll go there. Jai Gurudev.
Tathastu. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.